15.
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's the ratio of dimes to nickels. So we've got 9 and 6. And then the way you convert a ratio to a fraction, which maybe you haven't been doing yet in class.
I thought it'd be 9/6.
So you would think that, and maybe that's what your instructor wants you to do, but this is the correct form.
I'll just do or.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now what's important here is that we've not reduced any of these. So that's what your instructors, that's where it says in simplest form here. So we have to take this 9 to 6, and then if you want here, the 9/6, and we have to reduce these.
Mm-hmm.
So for the 9 and the 6, is there a number that goes into both? I'm sorry, say that again.
3.
3, yeah. So you can divide both of these numbers by 3. So it's 3 to 2. And similarly, you can divide the fraction by 3. 3/2, like that.
So then do I write 3 to 2 and then?
I guess I don't know what the third form is.
It's just 3/2, I think.
Sounds like you understand ratios. So whenever you're ready, we can move on to number 2.
Okay.
All right, a cookie recipe. Yeah, a cookie recipe calls for a ratio of 4 cups of flour to 3 cups of sugar. So the way I would start writing this is 4 cups to 3 cups. And the one on the left here is for flour, and the one on the right here is for sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can get to the question here. It says for each cup of flour, so we really want the flour to go down to 1 cup. What do you divide 4 by to get to 1?
4.
4, which means you also have to divide the sugar by 4.
So it's like you just unirates.
Yes. So you just whichever one you divide, you also divide the other by the same number, and then that gives you your answer generally. So the answer is 3/4 cups of sugar on the right here.
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense.
Well, for 1 cup of flour, you need, we start out by saying 4 cups is 3 cups. But if we want to get to 1 cup of flour, you divide by 4. So you divide the sugar by 4.
Oh wait, yeah. Okay. There.
Got it down. Okay, so let's move on to number 4. Number 3, you've already answered. All right, so it says Mrs. Wilkinson can buy a 20-ounce box of cereal for $3.68 or $3.60, or a 28-ounce box of cereal for $4.20. Which is the better buy? All right, so if you've ever been to the grocery store or looked at any of the prices, they always give you the dollars per ounce. Maybe you've even seen that. So you have to take the cost, $3.60, and divide it by the number of ounces.
Yeah.
So that's the cost in dollars, and that's the ounces, 20.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to divide this here. Do you see anything that cancels in this 3.60 over 20? Do you see anything that cancels?
What do you mean?
Like the zeros are the same on the top and the bottom. Have you seen that before?
Yeah, like where she costs them out.
Yes. Okay, so what you're left with is really 3.6 divided by 2. So you can put that 2 on the outside, 3.6 on the inside. Okay, so from here, you've got to be able to divide. Is this something you've seen before?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many times does 2, good question? How many times does the 2 go into the 3?
One.
One time.
Yeah. That's what I said.
1 times 2 is 2. You subtract.
1.8.
Yeah, 1.8. Okay, so it's $1.8 per ounce. All right, so now we're going to look at the other one. The next one is 4.20 divided by 28.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I messed up. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so we're going to do this next problem here. Unfortunately, there's no like nice cancellation. So you have to put that 28 on the outside, 4.2 on the inside, 20, we'll say.
Yep.
Okay, so 28 goes into 42 one time. So 1 times 28,
It's 14.
14, bring the 0 down. And then believe it or not, it actually goes in really nicely here. 5 times 28 is 140. But the decimal you bring up, and that's where you're going to help to answer this question. I think we missed anyway.
You add a 0. Oh no, you don't need to add a 0.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the better buy because it's $0.15 per ounce.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. Whoopsie, I made a mistake. I did 1.5. Okay. Okay, I'm done.
So that's a tough question, right? There's a lot going on there. You gotta go in there. So, okay, so let's look at, looks like number 5, you've already done.
Oh, I just gave it a guess.
Okay, let's look at it together then. Snip it in here, see what we can do. All right, so it says the ratio table shows how much Raymond's brother earns for working different numbers of hours. Okay, so how much money would he need to earn to, how many hours would he need to work in order to earn $176? So what you should be looking for here, Mason, is how do you go from 5 to 40? Like, what's the math operation to go from 5 to 40?
I'm using it by 8.
Multiplication by 8. So the question is, does that work for this next one?
Yeah.
It does. Now it also works backwards. Is 40 divided by 8 5?
Mm-hmm.
How about 64 divided by 8?
Mm-hmm.
And then 120 divided by 8 is 15.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you take 176 and divide it by 8, you'll get your answer. So 8 goes into 17 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. You subtract, bring the 6 down, and then it goes in 2 times. So yeah, your answer was correct. It is 22 hours.
There.
Do you have that down?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's keep going here. Let's look at number 6. Why don't you read this one out loud for us, please?
There are 30 students in Mr. Holland's music class. If 30% of the students play in the school band, how many students in the class play in the school band?
Excuse me. So 30% of the students, 30% of the students are in the school band. Okay. So how do you convert 30% to a decimal?
I put it over 100 and then, wait, no.
That's true. But that's if you want to make it into a fraction. We want to make it into a decimal. So you take that decimal and then you move it to the left 2 times. So it's 0.3. So 30% to a decimal is 0.3. Okay, now in terms of finding out the number, you have to take the number of students in the class, 30, and you have to multiply it by 0.3. So you have to take that 30 and multiply it by 0.3. Have you seen this before?
No.
I'm sorry, was that a yes?
Yeah, I'm doing it right
Okay.
now.
Oh, good, good.
Is it 9.0?
It's 9. Yeah, it's exactly 9. That's 9 students.
Okay.
All right, so now we can move on to page 2. So it looks like a lot of these problems are just story or word problems for stuff that you've already know how to do. And this is another example of that.
So yeah, I don't have enough time for 11, so I'll just finish it right now. real quick.
Are we just doing a half and half?
What?
Does Remy need help also tonight?
Oh no,
Okay.
he's sick, so
Yeah, I think you and I are doing the whole hour. So
yeah.
we'll keep going here. So Jasmine answered 19 out of 25 questions correctly on a quiz. What percent? So see how they want a percent?
Mhm.
And they're giving you a fraction. 19
Yeah,
over 25. And you kind of answered this for me on the last problem, but how do you convert this to a decimal? Because that's the decimal leads to a percent.
you minus.
We really want to get it up to 100 on the bottom.
Times by 4.
Times by 4. Yeah. So you have to multiply 19 by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that and give me the result, please?
Yeah. 76.
76. Very good. Okay. So now how do you convert this to a decimal?
Huh?
Say that again.
What'd you say?
How do you convert this to a decimal? 76 over 100.
You. I mean, it's just technically 76%.
That's right. It's 0.76, but then to convert it to a percent, you move the decimal right 2 times to get 76%. Very good.
Okay, can we work on 10?
Yeah, I do want to make a small comment about 8. Do you see that the answer says from least to greatest?
Oh.
So your answer is correct. Like what you wrote down here is completely correct. Like this is true, but it wants the numbers, the original numbers. So you're supposed to put 1/5 first, then 0.22, and then 25%. You have to use the original numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be from the way they ask for least to greatest.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go to number 10, like you said. Number 9 is fine. Looks really good. Let's look at number 10. Okay, it says, how is the decimal 0.55 written as a fraction in simplest form?
$55 over 100.
That's correct, but that is not the simplest form. So we're going to have to reduce the fraction.
By 2 first.
You try to, but is 55 divisible
Oh,
by
wait.
2? No, it's not. So 2 is out. How about 3? Can you divide 55 by 3?
Um, uh,
55 is not divisible by 3. But is it
I
divisible by
thought
5?
of it because you can get. Oh wait, yeah, true. Never mind.
You get close.
Yeah, I would have. You would have gotten 24. No, you would have gotten 54.
Yes. 3 times 18 is 54. We want 55, but they're both divisible by 5.
11/20.
Yes, and that is the correct answer.
And then that's it.
Yes. All right, so let me just check your answer to this next one here.
I haven't done that subtraction, but I'm doing it right now.
All right, yeah, so your addition is correct for number 11. So just go ahead and
Is the
subtract.
answer for the subtraction 3.08?
Yes, but you have to give it with change. So you'd want to say for number 11, you'd want to say $3.08, like that.
I was just making sure.
Okay, so let's take a look at number 12. Colleen rode her bicycle 9.5 miles in 0.8 hours. What was her average speed in miles per hour? Miles per hour.
Okay, I'm
Guys.
back. You multiply?
Well, you take your miles up top, and how many hours did she drive or ride?
0.8.
Yeah. Now, whenever you have a decimal in the bottom, you want to eliminate it. So what can you multiply the top and bottom by to move the decimal to the right? You want to move this. We really want to move the decimal on the bottom here to the right. What do we multiply the top and bottom by to do that?
10.
10. Yeah. So that gives you 95 divided by 8.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer this, we've got to go do our long division here. So 8 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. 8 goes into 15 one time. And then do you know what to do from this point here? You remember to bring the 0 down.
Yeah, I did that.
And you actually keep bringing the 0 down until you figure out where it finishes up here.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 56, and you bring yet another 0 down, and you finally get your final answer.
I can't see.
Did you get 11.875?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so the answer is 11.875. That's your answer, but it's miles per hour. So you'd want to write 11.875 miles per hour. Okay, so let's move on to number 13. Okay, so it says there are 25 servings in a 30.2 ounce jar of peanut butter. So this is kind of one of those ratio problems again. It's like 25 servings to 30.2 ounces. Okay, but what do we want to go to? What's our goal?
Um,
What is
the peanut butter per serving
for one serving? So how do we get to one serving from 25?
divided by 25.
Divide by 25. So you divide both numbers by 25. So unfortunately, it's another long division problem, 25 into 30.2. So I hope your long division is solid.
It is.
So it goes in one time.
Point two zero eight.
Yes. So we've done a bunch of division problems. Now I think we've got a couple of multiplication problems coming up here. So let's take a look at 14. Okay, it says Angela earns $6.25 per hour babysitting. How much will she earn if she babysits for 9 hours this weekend?
Multiply by 9.
Yeah, 6.25 times 9. Go ahead and give that a try and see what you come up with.
Okay. $56.25.
Yeah, that's perfect. Very good. So you have to know which operation to do. And then the rest of these problems so far have been sort of conversion problems. This is another one. It says, what percent of 25 is 150?
Mm-hmm.
This is actually written kind of awkwardly. So
It should be what's 25% of one?
Is that true? Because that makes the most sense to me. I was about to ask you which one it is. Yeah, it's 25% times 150.
It's 37.50.
Yes. Very good. All right, it's gonna be tight. We're probably not gonna get through everything, but we'll keep going here. Next couple are pretty fast. So let's look at number 16.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, which of the following does not represent the shaded portion of the figure? So for problems like this, I try to figure out, I just ignore the not, and I say, well, which ones do represent the shaded region?
I mean, I know 25% isn't.
Yeah, so, but notice that all of these are the same. 3/4, 75%, these are all the same. So therefore it must be the one that is different.
Yeah, I didn't get to the back.
Okay, let's look at number 17 next.
How do you write so well on keyboard?
I have a tablet, and I'm just writing on that.
Oh,
It's a touch screen for this. It's not as interesting as you might think. It's just a thing. So it says Roberta uses 5 beads for every 3 inches of string. So here's beads, and here's string. So 5 and 3, those are the given informations, given piece of information. Okay, so notice if we were to double each of these, we would get another data point. And then if we were to triple the original number, it would be 15 and 9.
yeah.
So you're looking for the graph that matches up best with this.
Is that all they're asking?
Yeah, they're just, now let me give you the one that is correct so you can see because the order matters. Notice that on the x-axis here is the beads, like you consider that your x and that your y, your x-axis and your y-axis, but these ordered pairs correspond to these right here, and the order does matter.
It's just, isn't it 3/5, 6/10, and 9/15?
You're graphing these ordered pairs.
Hmm?
Okay, it sounds like you haven't done this before, so let's move on to some other problems that you have done, and we'll, if we've got time at the end, we'll come back.
Well, this is on the test, so.
Well, we got to hit stuff that you like. We could spend the rest of the time explaining this topic, so it's better if we go on to problems that you make sure you're solid on the rest of them. You'll have to trust me on this one. Okay, so let's look at number 18 here. Regina purchased 1.75 pounds of turkey breast from her local deli for $5.99 per pound.
Mhm.
Okay, so we need to know how much she spent. What's the math operation between these two numbers?
Multiplied.
Yes, because you have pounds here, and it's $5.99 per pound. The pounds cancel, so you're going to multiply those two numbers.
You can have it around if you want one.
So why don't you leave that off to the side to do for later, and let's keep going and looking at some of these problems to set up the other ones.
Yeah, because I already know how to do.
Yeah, so let's go to number 19. Okay, it says Katrina uses 4.125 yards of fabric for each curtain panel she makes. How many yards will she need if she makes 14 panels? What is the math operation between those two?
Whatever.
10 by 14.
Yeah, you're going to multiply your 4.125 times 14. Okay, so go ahead and get that down, and then we'll move on to number 20 to make sure we've got.
Yeah, it's in my level 13.
Because you know how to multiply that. All right, here we go. It says, let me grab this quick. The table below shows the results of a survey on students' favorite school lunches. What fraction of the student survey said that grilled cheese is their favorite school lunch? So there's the percent, right? How do we convert a percent to a fraction? Well, we do that by
Put it
first
over
converting.
100.
Yeah, but you first go to a decimal, but you could go 30 over 100 if you wanted. But you have to be able to reduce this fraction.
Oh, you can reduce it by 2.
Well, before that though, notice how the zeros cancel.
Yeah,
And what does that leave you? What's left over?
3/10.
3/10. Okay, let's go to number 21. Sorry, let me grab a better snip than that. Okay. Here's number 21. Okay. So it says Tommy's batting average this season is 0.275. This means that he had a hit in 27.5% of his at-bats. If Tommy had 11 hits so far this season, how many at-bats has he had? So this one's a little bit harder. What we're saying is that 0.275 times however many at-bats he had equals 11. Okay, so this is actually a division problem. It's actually because you actually divide both sides by this number here, which maybe you haven't seen before, but you have to take 11 and divide it by 0.275. So to do that, you really need to move this decimal 3 places. So you multiply the top and bottom by 1,000. And that gives you 11,000 divided by 275. And this is what you have to, you're going to have to do this on your own here.
Okay.
So we're probably getting to a little bit part of the course where you're just a little bit unsure about how to do this, but we got one more problem like this. All right, so a couple more here. I'm going to see, or I'm sorry, Mason, let's see if we can get these done really quickly here because the lessons do end here in a couple minutes. So let's take a look. So actually, so it just to be clear, the lessons are 50 minutes for the hour. So let's look at this problem here. It says a Castle Rock school, 575 students ride their bike to school. If this number is 92% of the total of the enrollment, how many students are enrolled? So again, what they're saying is it's 0.92% of the students equals 575. So what you have to do is go backwards. You have to divide both sides by 0.92. So you're going to do 575 over 0.92. So these are division problems. They're a little bit backwards. Okay, so now we're going to multiply the top and bottom by 100. So that gives you, on top, it gives you 57,500 divided by 92. And so you have to do that on your own. All right, so we've got just enough time to look at 23. Now we're rushing here.
I already know how to do 23.
Okay, great. So it's 150 divided by 30
I already
is 5.
completed it.
Great. All right, well, let's see if there's anything else we can do quickly here. Yeah, here we go. We'll finish off here with 24. So this one, again, it's all about the language. I wish we had more time to kind of dissect this, but it says in a school, 85% of 200 students bring their lunch from home. So the word of means multiplication. Of means multiplication. So you're going to multiply these two numbers and get your final answer. You end up getting 170 for that. Let's really quickly look at 25. The way we get everything in here. So it says which model represents 140%. So this for this first one, it's like this would be 100%, 100%, and then this would be 40%. So that's obviously too much. This next one is 100%, and then 60%. And then this next one is 100%, and then 40%. And then the last one is 40% here. So which one represents 140%? Hopefully you can see there, it's letter H. Yeah. And so what you'll have to do on your own here is write it as a percent, a fraction, and a decimal.
So it's 40 over 100, and then you reduce it,
Yes.
and then it's just 0.4 for the fraction.
No, it's 140 over 100. And then you have to reduce.
Yeah, so it's 1.4.
Yes, and then you reduce that fraction as well. So Mason, I'm so sorry, but I do have to run here. I got to take a short break before my next lesson. Thank you for letting me help you tonight, but I'm going to pause here. Make sure you get these notes down, and I'll send you an email here shortly.
Okay.
All right. Have a good luck on your test. I think you're going to do great.
I don't think I will.
Be positive. You'll do great. So I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye.
Bye.